So that's coming up at some point. Resident Evil Damnation. Not bad. We'll see. It certainly looks competently made, which is always good. All right, Funimation has licensed some new stuff, as they seem to do every single week. They have licensed all rescues, really. Excel Saga, the goofy comedy. Also Noir, the non-goofy, non-comedy, a Girls with Guns series by B-Train. As well as Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040, which is a remake of the original Bubblegum Crisis series. More on Bubblegum Crisis later. So they'll all come out, which is good news for me because I have lost several discs from my original collection of that, so I can finally finish that up. And the plan is to release Excel Saga for an MSRP of $50 in March, and then let's see here. They don't have any numbers or prices on the other two, but you know, Excel Saga Complete for $50, which means it'll be like $30 on Amazon. That's a pretty darn good thing. Cool. Meanwhile, as I mentioned more on Bubblegum Crisis, there's been this live-action Bubblegum Crisis project out there for quite a while, where they've got like this Chinese company, a bunch of other companies in Asia collaborating to make a Bubblegum Crisis film, and the director has finally been announced. It's going to be Anthony LaMolinara. He worked on Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Hollow Man, also an animator on Toy Story and Stuart Little. He also wrote and directed a 2005 short film called The Lonesome Matador, which I haven't had a chance to check out. So he certainly has a lot of work out there, which is a good thing. It's a co-production between an Australian film, a Canadian film, and a Chinese film and a UK film. And they're licensing with the original Japanese companies that own the rights to it. So, you know, that's a good thing, and that's, you know, out there and available to go. For those not familiar, Bubblegum Crisis was one of the big OVA series back in the late 80s. It was one of those series that kind of defined the OVA market and was very, very popular, spawned a lot of you know, fan art and interest and so forth. A cyberpunk story, pulling a lot of material from Blade Runner, actually, and telling a really, really just fun, interesting story with androids and girls in armor and all that kind of good stuff. So it's cool. No, it's not about bubblegum, and that's an interesting point. The title was meant in the classic Japanese trying to understand English case. The idea is, you know how a piece of bubblegum expands up to a point where it pops? The idea was to represent an ever-expanding crisis that was just about to burst. So a bubblegum crisis. Aha. Which is odd. But anyway, so it'll be nice to see that coming out. You know. Also exciting to see coming out, Viz now has an iPad app within which you can buy Viz titles. Death Note, Bleach, Dragon Ball, original Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, and Bakuman are all going to be on there. They're also planning to add Ouran High School Host Club, D. Gray Man, Rurouni Kenshin, awesome, and Vampire Knight in the near future, and lots of stuff up there. You can get the first volume of Death Note free for a limited time. So that's pretty cool to see out there. It's apparently not available for the iPhone or iPod Touch devices, and the reason for that I can tell you, it's really hard to read manga on a screen this big. So that's just, yeah. Hopefully that, you know, they will figure out some way, you know, to handle that. But I've got some manga, you know, apps on various platforms, and iPhone's just not a really good device for that kind of stuff, unfortunately. So we'll see how it goes. I will also point out, for those who are looking for iPads, there's going to be more iPads. And I'm betting that as new iPads are introduced, older iPads will get cheaper. So don't be surprised if you see more stuff coming out. And I mean, I don't know anything about it, but you know, I'm sure iPads will eventually get down to the point where they're more affordable for the average person. So hopefully at some point. Some folks are mentioning K-On!, some good news for K-On! Fans. The first full album from the Hokago Tea Time band within K-On! Sold 127,000 copies in its first week to debut at the top of Oricon's album chart for the October 25th through 31st week. and it's the second album in a row to top the chart. So that's very cool. They're selling very well. 127,000 copies. That's a lot. The earlier 2 CD mini album became the first anime character CD release to hit #1 when it sold 67,000 copies in July. It eventually sold about as many as this CD has already sold. So this is doing really, really well. It includes Pure Pure Heart, Gohan Okazu, and Tenchi ni Fureta Yo. And then the second CD contains well, the stuff that the band makes in episode 23. So all that stuff is on there. So pretty cool. And then the limited edition, first edition of the album contains an actual pink cassette tape, as we mentioned before, which is cool. So that's definitely moving units, and we were talking about whether that was just a ridiculous idea, whether it would actually move units, and apparently it did. So that's a good thing. Yeah, K-on's still really popular in Japan, you know, for whatever that's worth. Finally, Funimation is currently filling out the paperwork trying to submit Summer Wars for an Oscar nomination. Trying to get a full-scale Oscar nomination for that at the next year's Academy Awards. And this is tough because it'll be the 14th submission for Best Animated Feature. That's really, really tough. So we'll see how that goes. But apparently, it takes some time to submit that and get it all through. So who knows where that's going? But who knows? Kind of interesting. Anyway, by the way, Matt's now on. So let me head over and pull up Matt. I hear Matt. I hear a call. I hear a connection. Is that Matt?
It is Matt, and I need to get my headphones on really quickly.
Huzzah! Well, we just
hear everything.
We just finished doing the news.
Oh well. I can join for the chatty bit.
Absolutely. Was there anything in the news that you thought was particularly interesting?
Nah. I'm pretty sure that everything that you talked about you covered.
So, in summary, Marduk Scramble, Sora no Toshimono film, Viz Media, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D manga, Anin starts streaming again, Bubblegum Crisis live-action film director, Funimation rescues Excel Saga Noir and Bubblegum Crisis 2040, Resident Evil Damnation film, Viz iPad app, Hokago Tea Time 2 sold really well, and Summer Wars is going to get an Oscar nomination, hopefully.
Wow. But yeah, that is everything I'd looked at.
Yeah.
Whoa, the live stream has an advertisement. That's weird.
Oh, that happens occasionally. Yeah, that's kind of frustrating.
Damn you, Edward, go away! Go away!
Stop, end! To quote Mystery Science Theater 3000, which we're going to have to do a Mystery Science Theater 3000 one of these days.
One thing I did find out recently, I don't think it's actually news, or recent news, but something me personally found out is Aya Hirano, voice actress for Haruhi, has a brain tumor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, it's news to you as well then.
Yeah, ooh.
She has a brain tumor and she's quit voice acting, so that means if they do a third season of Haruhi, they're going to have to find a new voice actress.
Wow, that's scary.
And it's just a kind of downer in general.
Yeah.
She does good music.
And good voice acting and all that.
Definitely.
Wow. Well, my prayers go out to her and her family and all that kind of stuff. That's terrible.
Yeah.
And she's been doing a lot of stuff, beyond those as well. So that's wow.
God damn advert. I can't load the live stream, it seems. Or to see the chat room, that is. So, sorry, chat room.
Oh no.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I will absorb their messages through the ether.
Very well. That'll work. So yeah, that's been basically the news for that week, for this week. So that's about it. So thanks, Matt, for joining us.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure.
Cool.